Picture this. You're alone in a skiff at night, the ocean is dead quiet, and something the size of a freight train is moving just under your boat. Not exactly the kind of fishing trip you brag about on Facebook, right? But that's exactly where Erik found himself, knuckles white on the railing, engine dead, and the water beneath him heaving like it had a pulse of its own. If you think this sounds like the world's worst sequel to Finding Nemo, buckle up, because Erik's night at sea makes Jaws look like a pool party. Let's break this story down in 10 beats, each one darker, crazier, and harder to shake off than the last. Number 1. The guy who didn't believe. Every fishing village has that guy, the one who thinks everyone else is overreacting. For Erik, rumors of a sea creature were about as believable as a free Wi-Fi signal on a cruise ship. While neighbors whispered about boats being tipped and shadows circling under the waves, Erik laughed it off. If the nets are empty, it's overfishing, not monsters, he'd say. Classic skeptic energy. But here's the thing. When you roll your eyes at local legends, the legends tend to roll back hard. And speaking of rolling, number 2, the skiff that almost did. Fast forward to Erik on the water at night. The church bell rings, the village doors slam shut, and he of course decides, hey, perfect time to fish. His skiff lurches like it's trying out for a roller coaster audition. He drops to his knees, clutching the railing, boots filling with water. Something massive is moving beneath, big enough to make his little boat feel like a soda can. Erik yanks the motor cord dead, yanks, again dead. Third try, it roars back, but too late. The ocean has already noticed him, and what notices you at sea never lets go easy. Number 3. The sound that shouldn't exist. Imagine bass so deep it shakes your ribs. Not EDM festival bass, but prehistoric chest-rattling bass vibrating through the wood of the boat. That's what Erik hears. Not whale song, not an engine, something alive. The sound climbs under his skin, primal and wrong, like the ocean is speaking a language humans were never meant to hear. And that's when the rumor stops being a rumor, because you can't eye-roll vibrations that make your heart skip. And if your heart skipped, there, wait until you hear what happened when he came back to shore. Number 4. The village that already knew. When Erik finally makes it back, pale, soaked, eyes like he's seen a ghost, he expects shock. Instead, the villagers just look at him like, yeah, told you so. Turns out everyone's got a story. Nets pulled from hands, boat shifted sideways, oars dragged under. Nobody ever sees it clearly, but they all feel it. Marta at the fish market had even warned him, it shows up when the bell rings. And she wasn't joking. These people weren't scared of storms, they were scared of this. And if you think the villagers were the only ones keeping secrets, think again. Number 5. The father's shadow. Erik's dad died at sea years ago, storm they said. But the details? Murky. Erik grew up on boats, confident, practical, rolling his eyes at superstition. Yet when the creature hit, it wasn't just terror in his chest, it was memory. The way the waves pulled, the unnatural silence before it struck, he realized it matched the last story he'd heard of his father alive. What if his dad hadn't been taken by weather? What if it was this? And that's when Erik makes his worst and bravest decision. Number 6. He goes back. Yeah, instead of running, instead of moving inland and starting a nice safe bakery business, Erik decides to return. Why? Pride, mostly. And maybe because fishermen are stubborn enough to fist-fight the ocean itself. But also curiosity. If something this big is out there, he wants to see it. Wants proof. He arms himself not with harpoons or nets, but with a GoPro taped to the stern. Because apparently, even life-threatening monster hunts are YouTube content now. But what he captures, no amount of likes could be worth it. Number 7. The shadow on film. The footage is shaky, grainy classic. This belongs on a conspiracy subreddit. But in one frame under the moonlight, you can see the water swell. And then just for a second, the outline of something moving beneath, bigger than his entire skiff. No fins, no whale shape, just a shadow, thick as a bus, rolling under like it owns the ocean. Erik swears it had eyes that reflected light, 2 pinpricks staring straight up at him. The village saw the clip, and for once, no one laughed. And if you're thinking, why didn't he just stop there? Well, number 8, the pull. On his next trip, because of course he goes again, the sea doesn't play around. His nets don't just stay empty, they're ripped clean from the boat, rope snapping like string. Something yanks below with enough force to tilt the skiff sideways. Erik barely cuts the line before going under with it. He swears he saw the rope vanish into the deep like someone or something was dragging it down deliberately. That's when Erik realized this wasn't just a creature, this was a hunter. Number 9, the bell's curse. Every appearance, every encounter, every moment, the thing rises always after the church bell tolls. Midnight, the sound echoes over the water, and that's when the sea goes still. Some villagers whisper the bell was blessed centuries ago to keep the coast safe, but what if it does the opposite? What if the bell calls it? Erik's convinced the timing isn't coincidence. Every time the bell rings, the ocean answers, and the last answer nearly killed him. Number 10, the chase home. On his final trip, Erik barely escapes. Engine sputtering, boat shaking, something massive chasing just beneath the surface. The water bulges, the skiff bucks, and he knows if he looks back, it's over. He floors the throttle, spray blinding his eyes, until the lights of the village finally break the dark. Behind him, the swell sinks back, as if the creature doesn't dare touch land. He crashes ashore, staggering, clutching the dock like it's the last real thing in the world, and he hasn't gone out after dusk since. So here's the kicker. Was Erik just unlucky? Or did he stumble into something the villagers already knew but never admitted out loud, that some legends aren't cautionary tales? They're warning. The ocean keeps its secrets well, but sometimes it lets one slip just long enough to remind us who really runs the water. Now I'll throw this to you. What do you think Erik faced that night? A giant squid? Some prehistoric survivor? Or something stranger? Something we don't even have a name for yet? Drop your theories in the comments. I'm reading them all, and the wilder, the better. And hey, don't let this story sink without a trace. Smash like, subscribe, and hit the bell, just hopefully not the midnight one, unless you want company from the deep.